Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Morning. Yeah, last time, if you remember, we talked about different ways of writing the introduction. But I think that some of you still struggling in writing the hook. I will go back again to the hook sentence and try to explain it to you. When I asked you to write an introduction for your essay, I'd like you to start with the hook, because the hook is the most important. It's a very important, sentence in your introduction. And we said that the hook attracts the attention of your readers. So how can you attract the attention of your reader? How can you convince me? How can you convince me as a reader or attract me as a reader to read your essay? So your essay must start with an attractive sentence. This attractive sentence or sentences, we call them the hook. Now, you must start with the hook. You must start with the hook, such as asking a question. If you remember last time, use an interesting here. Use an interesting observation. Asians, for example, economists are not sleeping well these days. You can use, also we took some examples here on how to write the hook. Also, you should use a unique scenario to catch readers' attention. Some of you did that and they were successful. I will show you some of my comments on this assignment. Now, inshallah, I will move to show you the problems that you encounter or the mistakes that you made when you wrote your introductions. Now, begin with a famous quote. Use a surprising or shocking statistics, right? Yeah, these are the techniques that we use to write the hook. And after the hook, if you remember, we said that after writing your hook, you need connecting sentences, 2 to 3 sentences after the hook. The aim of these sentences is to give a background information about the topic that you are going to talk about. So this is the aim of the connecting sentences. Connecting sentences or connecting information is very, very important. And they say, why? Because you introduce us as readers for your topic. You give us a background about what you are going to talk. All right? And then you should write your thesis statement. And I have observed that the majority of you didn't do that. They start with the hook, they start then with the connecting information, but they forget the thesis statement. And if you remember the thesis statement, we said that it is the roadmap for your essay. You can't have an essay without a thesis statement. And if you remember, I said that you must pay attention to your thesis statement. Make sure that it is not too narrow and not too broad, right? And it is not too specific, and it is not an announcement. It must be a statement, and it should not be a fact, right? And it should be direct rather than indirect. Okay, we talked about 2 types of thesis statements. We talked about the first one, which is direct, and the second one, which is the indirect. That means the meaning can be implied, or the points that you are going to discuss can be implied from this thesis. But what I want, and I asked you to do, is to write a direct thesis statement. I'd like you to write a direct thesis statement. Now I will show you the feedback of some students here. Look here, look at this introduction. Social anxiety is an intense fear or phobia of being rejected or judged in social situations. It is very important for us to know how badly can social anxiety affect um, a person's life. It is also important that if a person has social anxiety to get help as soon as they feel they like have this phobia, because it can really take away a lot of us. What does this refer to? This is number one. Number two, where is your thesis statement? I can't see your thesis statement. So how can you write an introductory paragraph without a thesis statement? Direct thesis statement. Direct thesis statement. Right? Let's take another attempt. Now I'm doing that. I'm doing that not wallahi to criticize those people, because all of you have problems in writing. So we should learn from our mistakes. All of you have done mistakes, by the way, Yani. It's not a matter of criticizing wallahi A or B or C, right? Here, driving on a highway, speed meter is increasing up to 140 kilometers per hour. His phone doesn't stop ringing and his eyes don't leave the screen. The big smile is drawn on his face. He just had a baby and he is on his way to meet him. A moment later, everything flew away literally. Now, I wrote, it's excellent. This is a scenario. It is good, excellent. Now, I need your thesis statement. And your thesis statement must be direct rather than indirect. I can understand, and a moment later everything flew away. And I can understand, and wallahi, it is indirect. But I don't like you to write an indirect thesis statement. I'd like you to write a direct thesis statement. Direct thesis statement. Right? Let's see the other attempt. Now, look here. Sports. Sports comes in. Sports comes. Sports comes. Now, this is a plural, right? So it must be come, huh? Okay? Yeah, it must be come. You can add it, yeah, Asma. Now you rewrite and resubmit your assignment on Blackboard. I have adjusted the time for the resubmission, so you can submit at any time. Okay, you can submit at any time. Now sports come, not comes. I will talk inshallah later on about proofreading, some problems in subject-verb agreements. We will talk also about the use of pronouns, the use of synonyms, and fragments, and so on. We are going, inshallah, to talk about these important issues. There will be a part about grammar in this course, inshallah. Now, sports come, not comes, in a lot of different ways for different people. It. Now, sports, it. Sports, it. Now, sports here, sports, this is what? Plural. So the pronoun here must be plural. They can start as a hobby. See? Or you can say sport instead of sports. It can start as a hobby and turn into a career within time. Tiger Woods, Lionel Messi, and Serena Williams. Now, I'd like to make sure that, is this a direct quotation? I asked you. This is for Noor. Is this a direct quotation, ya Noor? Noor, can you listen? Huh? Do you hear me, Noor? Not here? She's not here? All right. Now, if this is a direct quotation, and I'm doubtful about this, because there are a lot of grammatical mistakes, and it must not be a direct quotation. If it is a direct quotation, you should use quotation marks. If it is a direct quotation, yeah. Okay, Noor, what we are doing now, I'm not criticizing Noor, wallahi, wala Ahmad, wala Zainab, wala Ayatullah, wala Ashraf. No, 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 no. We are here to learn. Keep this in your mind. You are here in my class to learn. And I'm here to learn you, not to criticize you. This is my job, to learn you what is right and what is wrong. It is my responsibility, right? Before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to teach you the right thing. I'm not criticizing any one of you. I'm here again to explain, to discuss the problems that you have encountered in writing. And again, writing is the most difficult skill. Writing is the most different skill. Now, if this is a direct quotation, yeah, Noor, you must use quotation marks. You must use quotation marks, right? And at the end of your essay, inshallah, you have cite the reference. You know, where did you get this? Is this a research article? Is this a book? Is this a chapter in a book? Is this an article, newspaper article, and so on? You must refer, or you must say that. Those are an example. Those are an example. Those are examples. Examples. Because this is plural, right? This is plural. So these, after them, we use them with plural nouns, right? Those boys, these boys, but this boy, that boy, right? For someone who do, someone is singular, by the way, someone who does. But here you should say someone who practices sport as a career. It can firstly be really hard. It refers to whom? Yeah, no. What does it refer to? Be careful. Be careful. It and there, we call them empty pronouns. Empty pronouns or dummy pronouns. Dummy pronouns or empty pronouns. What does that mean? We use them when we do not have a specific subject. For example, there were 20 students in the classroom. There here, it is a subject, but refers to whom? It is a dummy object. It is a dummy subject because the dummy pronoun. Dummy pronoun refers to nothing here. We use it instead of the subject in order to have a full grammatical sentence. The same for it. For example, it was raining heavily when he called me. It here refers to something outside the context, which is the sky, right? So it refers to sport, for example. You have to make sure. But practice reaches. But with the practice, every reaches. Everyone, you mean? Everyone reaches it. Again, you should rewrite this sentence. This is a kind of fragment. Fragment. That means it is incomplete sentence. It is an incomplete sentence. Doing sports is a really good job, a good way to maintain your health and support your immune system with strength. Now, here you have two ideas, you know. You maintain your health and support your immune system. Here we have two ideas. Now you should rewrite your thesis statement. I'd like you to write a direct thesis statement. That means you should highlight 3 points that you are going to develop. You have the topic and you have 3 controlling ideas. 3 controlling ideas. Okay, ya binti? All right? Let's move to Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Who's next? Let's see. Painting? Yeah. This is by Salma. Salma or Salama? Salama, right? Male or a female? Salama or Salma? Salama. Sorry, ya Salama, because I used, I think I was suspicious about the gender of the holder of this name. Salama, yeah. Okay, Salama ya binti. Look. Ya Salama, painting. Hobby, you have a good start, by the way. Hobby is an activity which we do to pass time with enjoyment. Painting is my favorite hobby and activity to do. Good. You start with a general. From general, it's like the inverted pyramid we said last time. General to specific. I just love it. Yes, Salama, please try to avoid expressions of feelings. You have to be objective. This is, I'm not directing my speech to Salama. I'm directing my speech to all of you. And try to avoid expressions of feelings, because you are writing this essay to convince me. I don't care about if you like it or not, if you love it or not. Convince me, right? Convince me. When you convince someone, you have to be objective. If I'd like to say that, wallahi, if you'd like to convince someone about the disadvantages of smoking, right? You can't say that smoking is very bad. It's smoking, I hate smoking. I hate smokers. So what? The answer will be, okay, you hate smoker, but I'm a smoker, for example. So how can you convince me? You should provide logical ideas, reasonable ideas, right? Reasonable ideas. Okay? Yeah, you should provide us with something reasonable, something objective. This is how I present myself by painting. When I first began painting, I had never thought that it would turn out to be such a huge passion to me. Without it, I would never be who I am today. Now, again, Salama, where is your thesis statement? I need a direct thesis statement. A direct thesis statement, ya Salama. Okay? I need a direct thesis statement. So please rewrite it and provide us with a direct thesis statement. This is for Raneem. Yeah. A lot of people struggle with the meaning of success, as it is hard to always find ways. Well, it is hard to always find ways. All right. It's hard to find ways. It's hard to find ways. And without always. Delete this one, please. It's لأنه guys, I will talk about some very important issues now. إنه don't use اللي هي generalization. Don't say والله many Jordanian people are careless drivers. How many Jordanian drivers are careless? Don't say that. This is a kind of a generalization. How do you know? Do you have statistics? Do you have numbers? How can you convince your readers? Okay, so this is an example, by the way, in order just to let you avoid words like these. If we have wallahi some careless drivers in the UAE, we have some, but I can't say many, right? When you say many, that means you have 60-70% of the population, and this cannot be applicable to the society, right? You have to be in the safe side. All right. Method here, find ways and methods that organizes. Ya binti, here we have ways and methods, plural, right? We do not use the S. That organize, a way to reach success and achieve goals. Presenting some helpful tips in the way of keys. Here, this sentence is ambiguous. It is an ambiguous sentence. It's unclear for me as a reader. What do you mean? Last time, if you remember, we said that don't expect your reader to understand everything in your essay. That means you should be direct in your writing. Your writing should be as easy as possible, right? As direct as possible, because your aim is to convince a lot of people. You are writing not only for 1, 2, 3 people. You are writing for for an audience, جمهور, your fans, مش هيك? Yeah. But here, don't start with but, Eventy. Don't start with but. To your own plans, to your plans without on, to your plans and mindset is very helpful. Here again, I need your thesis statement. I need your thesis statement. All right? Yeah, instead of a lot of people struggle with the meaning of success, you can say that. And wallahi, the meaning of success is broad. The meaning of success is broad. Sheikh, avoid a lot of people. The meaning of success is broad. All right. Let's see another attempt. We talked about this, social anxiety. And I think driving on a highway, yeah, I read that. I read Noor, Maryam Ali. Yeah, COVID-19. The scariest thing is in our lives is that we do not know what is going to happen to us in every second, minutes, hours, tomorrow or in the future. Yeah, good. I suggest another phrase for you, or another sentence for you. How are we going to fight the fear of the unknown? This is more idiomatic, huh? It is more idiomatic. Now, my family and me got affected by COVID-19. We all know how this virus is dangerous, especially to old people. Again, yeah, Binti, here, I think there is a problem. You start from the general idea, you must specify, right? But here you are talking about your family. If you'd like to write about your family, you can use this as a scenario here. Use this incident, right? This incident, use it as a scenario. You can say that we had a terrible experience for 14 days as the whole family got infected with COVID-19. We suffered a lot. We had blah, blah, blah. يعني, try to use it um, as a scenario, and you can start your paragraph with it. It's better than the first one here. It's better than the first one here. So who's the writer? Maryam, right? Maryam, use this incident and apply here the scenario. And it was a horrible experience when we had when my family, when the whole family, my whole family got COVID-19, etc. We all know how this virus is dangerous, especially, etc. COVID-19 has many disadvantages. There are shortness of breath. Here يا بنتي يعني you are talking about the symptoms rather than the disadvantages. These are not advantages. These are the symptoms of the disease, right? Maryam, can you hear me? Okay, Binti. So these are symptoms. These are not the disadvantages. How can you develop this thesis? You are talking about facts, and these are facts, by the way. Change your thesis statement. يعني, how can you convince me, wallahi, no, the symptoms of COVID-19 is fever and coughing? Yeah, all of us know that. If we have shortness of breath, يعني, fever and coughing or cough, directly I have an idea that, no, wallahi, I have COVID-19. So these are facts. Be careful, Ibnti, right? Okay. Now, who's next? Noor Diab. Noor. Noor, what's wrong with your okay. خليني أعمل بس. Noor, I will share. Yeah. In the past days, look here. In the past days, because you have to be careful for spelling, right? Because of the pandemic and the virus that is all around the world, so the world can continue. This is, by the way, this is a fragment. This is a fragment, Ibnti. What do you mean by fragment? This is not a sentence. This is not a sentence, right? This is not a sentence. And this is an this is a dependent, this is an independent, sorry, this is a dependent clause. Dependent clause means that it needs an independent clause in order to have a full meaning because of the pandemic and the virus. And by the way, يعني, they refer to both. You must use one. You must use one here because of COVID-19. Because of COVID-19, here, يعني, this is not a sentence. This is not a sentence. Again, so the world can continue and resume their life. Again, this is a fragment. This is another fragment. This is not a sentence. Fragment. What do you mean by a fragment? A fragment is not a sentence. It doesn't have a full meaning. When I'm saying, wallahi, this is a fragment, that means, this is not a sentence and it doesn't have a full meaning. Life and education, they found again, who? They refer to whom? Refers to what? Right? Found a way through the distance learning, as it is the only way to keep the students connected with their teacher. Yeah, where is your thesis statement? Where is your thesis? Where is your thesis statement? Okay, Binti? So you must rewrite it. You must rewrite it. All right. Do you like this way of discussion, guys?
Yes,
Are you happy?
Yes,
Are you happy with this way? Okay. It's good to give you direct feedback, to know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing and what you should avoid and what you should do in writing, because again, keep this in your mind. In writing, if you don't get a feedback, you will never ever learn how to write. And in the future, inshallah, by the time you start your MA, by the time you start writing your MA thesis, you will have severe critiques, huh? So you have to take it easy, right? You have to take it easy. But here we are learning. We are learning. Because when you are an MA student, I suppose that in Allah you can write well. Right? But here we are learning how to write بمشيئة slowly, don't worry. All of us make mistakes. We are human beings. We must make mistakes. We must make mistakes. Imagine we wrote research papers. We send these papers to our colleagues, and they write, they do proofreading to us, and wallahi, they discover some problems. We are human beings. Okay, this is for Yaqeen Tayyib. Yaqeen. All right, here. The benefits of indoor plants, or plants as if. Why buy a costly air purifier when investing? I think this is the second time, Yaqeen, you did that. The second time. This is the second attempt. Am I right, Yaqeen? Yaqeen, is this your second attempt? Yaqeen. Yeah, investing in a moderately priced and affordable indoor plant yields tenfold the advantages of the former. Excellent. And she starts with a question. Why buy a costly air purifier when investing in a moderately priced and affordable indoor plant yields tenfold the advantages of the former? Excellent. Essentially, indoor plants are plants that can thrive and grow indoors. Example, palms, Dracena or ferns. These are types of plants, indoor plants as if, I'm sorry. Most relevantly, their inclusion in households has thus far proven to be very beneficial in that they are incredible air purifiers, humidifiers, effective stress relievers, of course, lovely decorative pieces. Excellent. If you look at her thesis statement here, it's a direct thesis statement. I think this is the second attempt for Yaqeen, because I read that before and I gave here some suggestions. So yeah, so the second attempt here, if we look at the second attempt here, it's very excellent, very excellent. So she will have 5 out of 5, right? Radia or Radia, am I right? Radia, Radia, right? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Sorry, Radia, right?
It's Avia.
Radia, Radia. Okay, thank you. Now, Radia wrote about diabetes, and it's a very, very dangerous nowadays. And look at her hawk here. Did you know that diabetes can affect up to 11% of the world's population? Excellent, yeah, Radia. Yeah, this is a kind of a successful hawk. This is a question. Also, she has statistics here. Wow, 11% of the world's population have diabetes. So it's very interesting. This will attract, this topic will attract you as a reader. And wallahi, oh my God, 11%. That means in this classroom we have 22 or 23 people. That means 2 of us have diabetes, according to these statistics. It is a chronic disease that causes, excellent, she gave a definition here, that causes the pancreas to produce less insulin for the body, causing your blood sugar to go up. Excellent. I read that yesterday, yeah. Type 1, which is also called diabetes mellitus, can mostly be seen in children. Type 2, which is more dangerous than type 1, can be seen mostly in adults and some children. To prevent it from happening, people have to cut back on oily foods, and they have to exercise regularly and check their body sugar every day, every once in a while. Excellent. Diabetes people have to cut here. From here, this I have a notes for you, Radia, here. To prevent diabetes, you should say, to prevent diabetes, people have to cut without happening. Delete this. People have to cut back on oily foods, exercise regularly, and check their blood sugar every once. Have you got the idea, Radia? To prevent diabetes, people have to cut here. People have to cut back on oily foods, without this, exercise regularly, and check their blood, etc. Yeah, excellent, yeah, Radia, excellent. Yeah. Hala or Hala, she hasn't submitted yet. Is it Hala or Hala? Let's see, Shrath. Excellent, yeah, Shrath. Shrath has a very excellent introduction. With the onset of COVID-19 all around the world, students applauded at the idea of attending classes online. Excellent. This is general into specific. It meant that they could study from the comfort of their homes. They didn't have to worry about transportation, uniforms, and school lunches. However, yeah, this is a kind of introduction. Last time we talked about it. It's the opposite of what you are going to talk. Now you present something and you talk about the opposite thing. Yeah, this is a way of attracting your readers to a certain topic, and your reader will discover that, oh, you are going to talk about the opposite side of this topic. Yeah, excellent. However, as online learning became the new norm of education, students, yeah, I like, wallahi, your connecting information. Yeah, Shurath. I like them a lot. However, as because you gave us background information about the topic that you are going to talk about. However, as online learning became the new norm of education, students gradually began to realize the inconveniences of this learning method. The disadvantages are distractions, technical difficulties, and health issues. Excellent. Look at the thesis statement. Direct. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for direct at this moment, guys. At this moment, we should learn to write the direct thesis statement. Again, we have two types of thesis statements, direct and indirect. I don't like you to use the indirect now, but in the future you can use it. It's very successful. But for the purpose of this course, I'd like you to use the direct things first. Then after we acquire or learn how to write the direct thesis statement, the next step will be inshallah to write the indirect thesis statement. Yeah, excellent, Ashraf. Advantages of online shopping. Advantages of online shopping. Online shopping has increased rapidly since last year, 2020, during the pandemic COVID-19. Here, since 2020, right? Or since 2020, mistake. Stop. Because of, you can say, who's the writer? Sarah. You can say online shopping has increased rapidly since 2020 due to or because of COVID-19. Because of COVID-19. Here you use pandemic and epidemic. Epidemic. Here you must be consistent. Pandemic, خلينا نستخدم pandemic. All right? Paved a way, or we have to be consistent.
Remember, you're telling us that we don't rewrite the same words again and again, like repeating it. So that's the reason I have changed it.
You can say COVID-19 مثلا, has paved, right? Or it. Use the pronoun. If you'd like to avoid repeating the same word, use the pronoun. Use pronouns in order to refer to the.
It paved a way.
Yeah, it paved a way for consumers to indulge in online shopping, which in fact has been beneficial in many ways. Yeah, good. That refers to what here? Delete that. That online grocery shopping markets has raised questions about the potential for additional pollution from all those grocery deliveries. Again, this is a fragment. Yeah. Yes, Sarah, you should rewrite it again. You can say that online groceries shopping market has raised questions about, good. Sorry, it's a good sentence. Has raised questions about the potential for additional pollution for all those. Yeah, it's a good. Sorry, it's not a fragment. Just delete this one here. Delete that. With that, it will be a fragment. If you delete that, it will be a complete sentence. Yes. However, the new research finds that when all sources of emissions are accounted for, buying groceries online often generates less emissions than shopping in person. Yeah, there are some. Look here, Sarah, you have to avoid the word many. When you say that, there are many reasons. Many reasons you are talking about 60%, 70% something. Yeah, that means there are so many. You cannot include them in one essay. All right? You cannot include them in one essay. Yeah, yes, we use the word some.
But like I wrote, there are many reasons why to choose cyber shopping, but the most important three. So I meant like there are many, but I will just mention.
Uh-huh.
Won't that be
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If you'd like to take my advice, there
Mhm.
are different reasons. It is better than many. There are different reasons why to choose cyber shopping, but the three most important ones are price, pollution, and save times. Okay?
Okay, doctor, thank you.
So what I'm looking for is to try to avoid words that denote generalizations, because in the future, inshallah, some students will write, well, there are many causes for this problem. There are many causes. How do you know there are many causes? What are these many causes? Give me a second. I will come back again to you. Give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. All right. All right, Sarah. Okay.
Yes, doctor, thank you.
Yeah.
Doctor, just
Yes.
just a, after I rewrite it, if I send it to you, will you mark it again for
Yeah.
me?
Yes. Yes. I will do.
Okay, doctor,
I'm.
thank you.
I'm. I'm like a father who's so passionate. Don't worry.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you very
You
much.
are. You are my daughters, by the way, Yani. You are my daughters, so I'm not so harsh on my kids or my daughters and sons. No, my aim is to teach you, not to punish you. Rewrite it, send it back again to me. I will mark it, inshallah, and I will change the grade for you. All right? Not only for you, for all of you.
Doctor, should we
Yes.
send it by the email or on the blackboard?
No, no, on Blackboard. Resubmit it on Blackboard, Devinti.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Yeah, welcome. Right. Who's next? Mirna. Mirna, I'll see. I think you sent it on the email, yeah, Mirna. Am I right? Mirna?
No, I submitted it through Blackboard.
All right. Yes. I will make, just give me a second. I will share the screen with you. Yeah. Good health is an integral part. Good health is an integral part of the human system, which keeps individuals and communities from falling apart. Good. This is general statement. Both physical and mental health work in tandem to ensure the continuation of a human survival. One cannot be given more importance over the other, as any attack it receives results in a domino effect of problems which lead to the collapse of the community, if not addressed immediately. Yet to this day, the Arab world struggles with the consequences of ignoring mental health in its communities. So excellent. And I like you connecting information. Arab communities fail to recognize the importance of mental health on both an individual and social levels, oftentimes due misinformation, stigma, and negligence. Yeah, excellent. Excellent, yeah, Mirna. Excellent, yeah. You have a successful, this is a direct thesis statement. And also you have the inverted pyramid approach for writing the introduction. You start from a general topic and then you start to narrow it down till you reach the thesis statement. So yeah, excellent. Let's see the other attempt, because I'd like to give you all a feedback. Mira, the internet is, yes.
Sorry for interrupting. Doctor, I wanted to resubmit it, but I don't see like there is no link for it.
Can you do a submit instead of resubmitted or submit? Type, I will check that after the class, inshallah.
Okay.
I will check the system, okay? Yeah. Now, the internet is, I can't remember this word, is a double-edged sword. Yeah, good. Most children these days have social media accounts. While this may have some benefits, you not know what your kids may browsing. We say after may we have to use what? After may we have to use what? Shall we use ing, gerund, or base form? We have to use the base form, right? We have to use the base form. So may browse the web. Here, you can start, who's the author? Yeah, Mira. You can start. These days, most, if not all, children have, etc. Here, most, if not all, children have. Here, what is the hook type you use in your introduction? Rewrite and resend it again, yeah, Mira. Again here, the connecting information is very little. You should expand it. You should expand it. Yani you should write at least 2-3 sentences in order to explain the topic for us, to give us a hint on what you are going to talk about. Rewrite your thesis statement. I need a direct thesis statement here. You wrote, granting children access to the internet exposes them to several dangers, which is why parents should regulate their children's online activities. Yani here, several dangers such as child abuse, for example, one of them, 2, 3, etc. All right? I need direct thesis statement. Direct thesis statement. Let's see, Hiba. Teenagers and young adults. Teenagers. By the way, Hiba, what's the difference between teenagers and young adults? You should make sure that, by the time you wrote something, you have to be careful of, okay, teenagers and young adults are commonly susceptible to self-identity issues. Enlarge it. Teenagers and young adults are commonly susceptible to self-identity issues as they try to identify themselves.
Sorry, Professor, I disconnected. Can you repeat what you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't said something here, but here, when you write, for example, teenagers and young adults, you make sure that, wallahi, you know what do you mean by, what's the difference between the two terms, teenagers and young adults, right? Okay, yeah, Hiba? And there is a difference between adults and teenagers.
Yeah, but I'm kind of putting them in the same category. I specified young adults because they are both typically susceptible to self-identity issues. That's why I put them in the same category.
Yeah, yeah. They are susceptible to self-identity, issues as they try to identify themselves and their needs. An effective way for these individuals to cultivate and nurture the aspects of themselves they cannot fully comprehend is through the means of journal writing. Good. Now, Professor Bradley Wilcox stated, a personal journal is an ideal environment in which to become. It is a perfect place for you to think, feel, discover, expand, remember, and dream. Hiba, you should start with a quotation. If you have a quotation in your introduction, you should start your introduction with the quotation. You can say here, a personal journal is an ideal environment in which to become blah, 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 right? Till you finish this one. Sorry.
Professor, I started it off like that, but then I felt like the ideas did not flow that way. So I felt like it would be better to start off with the general statement, and then to connect it with my thesis statement, I felt like it would be better to put it in the middle.
Yes, Hiba, this is good for a paragraph, for a body paragraph. It is acceptable in a body paragraph. But when we talk about the introductory paragraph, this is unacceptable. You have to start with the quotation. You should rewrite your introduction to make sure that I have to start, because I use a quotation, so you should start with a quotation. Start with the quotation. Try to rewrite it again. Okay? It is a perfect place for you. Yes, Hiba, would you like to say something?
No, I just said thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It is a perfect place for you to think, feel, discover, expand, remember, and dream. Again, this is a quotation, right? Yeah. A journal is a record whereon an individual reflects on many issues. Yeah, you are affected by legal translation. We use these terms in legal contexts, wherein, whereon, where from. Try to avoid these in academic writing. Okay, Yahiba? We use these words in legal context, right? And we call them archaic terms. Archaic terms. That means old terms, and they are not usually used in academic writing nowadays. They are only used in legal writing, especially in contracts and so on. All right? An individual reflects on many issues, especially things concerning their personal lives. Journaling is essential because it helps individual cope with mental health issues, improves writing skills, and is used as a medium for stress relief. Excellent. And your thesis statement is acceptable because it's direct. It's direct. Yeah. So please, by the way, your introduction is excellent, but you should reorder your ideas, right? And you should start with a thesis. Sorry, with the quotation. Ahmed, Ahmed. I don't know, some students, sorry, some documents appeared here and some documents are not. I will share the Ahmed's document with you. Enlarge it so I can see well. Yeah. National serves tests. Have you ever been in a hard situation that will decide your whole future and your career? Yeah, good. He starts with question. Well, believe me, you will believe me. Will believe me.
Professor, I'm
Yes.
sorry, but I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What word can I use instead of whereon? Like, can you give me alternative words for that?
Yeah, you should start. You should start with the quotation. Then what you have written is good.
No, I
You
know,
have
but
a matter of just rearrangement.
I know. Yes, I got that. But you said that I used the word whereon, and you said that's only used in
Whereon.
non-academic.
Hiba,
Yeah.
yeah, wherein, whereon, where from. We call these words archaic terms. Archaic terms, that means they are very old. They are not used nowadays in academic English. We use them in legal contexts. In legal context, I'm a legal translator. We use them in contracts and agreements and so on only.
So
They are not
what can I
preferable
use?
in academic. You can use the relative pronouns instead. Where, that, which, etc. Where
Alright.
you can, blah blah blah. Okay. Because these are, Yahiba, have you studied legal translation?
No, I haven't. I'm not doing translation.
Okay. Okay. In the future, if you work in legal translation, inshallah, you will find these words. يعني you will recognize that these words have been used a lot in legal documents in general. Where from, wherein, hereunder, herein, herewith. These words, as I said, these are archaic terms. But again, they can be acceptable. Hiba, why some people they avoid them? Because they are so formal. Why they are used in legal contexts? Because they are so formal. You can use it, by the way. It's good. It is acceptable to use it here, but don't use it many times. It's acceptable here. Keep it as it is.
So I
Right?
can.
This is, yeah, you can keep it
Okay.
because this is a high formal style. It's a formal style. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Will believe me, you won't like to be it. Yeah, Ahmad here. Will believe me. Well, believe me, you won't. You will not like to be in it. In this career, yeah. Well, believe me, you won't like to be in it. Being in that situation, sometimes you should use a full stop, Ahmed. Being in that situation sometimes is a great thing you might learn from your mistakes. Being a soldier in the army, you will face many difficult times. For example, the military test. The military tests is very strict, are very strict, right? Plural. With the choices that you make, so you should be very careful while you are choosing, or you will be regretted your whole life. Now, Ahmed, I can't see your thesis statement clearly here. I need your thesis statement. What is your thesis statement? What are you going to talk about? What are the issues that you are going to talk about here? What is your thesis statement? You have a good start, by the way, but here you should rewrite your thesis statement. Okay, Ahmed? Do you hear me, Ahmed? Ahmed, do you hear me? Ahmed. Yes. Yeah, please, Abu, yeah, you have to, to rewrite it again. Okay? So rewrite it and send it back to me again. طيب. All right. That's all for today. Do you have any question, any comment? Any question, any comment? Any question?